Hi ma'am, good evening. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Ananya.
I'm Danya.
And we will be conducting an interview on behalf of our team for the WIPRO Biodiversity Project. This interview will take approximately about 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll start with some basic questions about your background and then we will move into more specifics about the project. So when in doubt, please feel free to ask questions at any time. Now, can you please start by introducing yourself?
Hi. Glad to know that you have shown interest in this particular topic of preserving biodiversity or whatever it is. So it's very nice to hear that you are interested in this. And to introduce about myself, I am Divya Pamuru, founder of Nammasuvai.com, an organic initiative in Chennai. Nammasuvai started around 2016 formally, but prior to that, I come from a farming background with a professional degree in horticulture from Agricultural University, Hyderabad. And then I worked for a couple of years in the agri-input industry, marketing fertilizers and pesticides. Post which I was not very comfortable there. So I wanted to explore more in agriculture, and that's how I entered into this organic farming and started Nammasuvai.com.
That's really good to know. Danya will continue the rest of the questions.
In today's trend, what made you choose organic farming instead of farming with pesticides and chemicals?
There are a couple of things. It was a very conscious decision. Initially, my interest was I grew up in a farming family. My grandfather was able to bear all the expenses all throughout my life. Like, he got me educated, he got me married, he took care of my children and my sister and everyone. But today, if I go back and see if I want to pursue agriculture as a profession, that's not the case. It will not cover any of our expenses. And that's on a personal end. And there are a lot India has an inclination towards, I would say, India we have diverse climate and we have always been into agriculture, but somehow I feel it is getting lost. The skill is getting lost. No one is interested into agriculture because there is no income in it. And most importantly, after being a mother, after working in agri-input company or being in an agricultural family, understanding what goes into our food while growing, I don't want to feed the same food to my children, or I don't want to eat the same. Like, food is the basic necessity of every person, and we can't feed. Understanding what goes into it while growing, somehow I didn't feel comfortable to eat the same, so I decided to work on it. And considering my experience or my journey, right from my childhood into this, I decided to work through it irrespective of whatever challenges I faced.
Thank you, ma'am. That was really insightful. The next question is, what are some changes in your local biodiversity that you can notice?
So when it comes to organic farming, when you use chemicals, it is not only disrupting the soil environment, like the soil microorganisms, the soil ecology, it is also affecting the human bodies and the birds and also the reptiles which live in the atmosphere. The residues, their biological systems like the respiratory system, the nervous system and the reproductive system. Now there is an imbalance between the predators and the pesticides. When we chose organic farming, it's the concept of live and let live, because here we are not destroying any of the living organisms. In fact, we are providing them an ecosystem where everyone can survive. So the natural ecosystem is taken care of. There is no imbalance.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, from an agriculturalist point of view, what are some major changes in the lifestyle of people throughout the years?
See, when I was born into being grown in an agricultural family, there was money, there was enough money, with the farmers, with the people then, and they were less stressful. There was a work-life balance, especially. They used to manage their homes, they used to manage the work. And there used to be communication, most importantly, accountability and communication. Over the period, when we are moving away from agriculture or when we start going away from the nature, this communication, we are thinking that we are communicating well, but somehow the accountability is lost. Why? இதுக்கு முன்னாடி எதனா தப்பு பண்ணணும்னா பயப்படுவாங்க. பக்கத்துல வந்து அந்த ஆண்டி என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, இந்த ஆண்டி சொல்லுவாங்க, அங்கிள் சொல்லுவாங்க. Now no one in the family, பசங்க என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னு பெரியவங்களுக்கு 10 பேருக்கு தெரியாது. So the accountability is lost, moving away from nature.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that is very stressful because once the communication is lost, the trust is also lost. So there is a lot of society.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The next question is, may we know how your farming organization promotes and protects our biodiversity?
Yeah, and it leads to a lot of stress. For example, in your generation, if you want to know something, you rely on ChatGPT or something, but you don't really want to talk to neighbors or anyone around you because you don't trust.
Thank you very much.
It was not the case earlier.
Ma'am, your final question is, what advice do you have to our current generation about protecting the biodiversity?
If you have some time, get involved in gardening, make it a hobby, or else go for a nature walk. When you start understanding nature, when you start understanding plants, when you start understanding soil, you can see a different perspective of life altogether. Because at the end of the day, when we are trying to safeguard our nature, it's not because we are trying to safeguard nature, we are trying to protect ourselves, safeguarding nature from the natural calamities. We are trying to protect ourselves from natural calamities by safeguarding nature. That is what we are trying to do. Because nature can protect itself very well because it is supreme.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The interview with you was really insightful. We learned a lot of things today, and we'll make sure to share it with our friends.
Pleasure having you with us, Divya. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Firoz, for remembering me and talking to me over this.
Sure, Auntie.